everyone, it's Tammy at Frou-frou Studio. I want to do a flip through of my completed back to school journal. I've been trying to set aside some time to do this flip through. This was my third project for the month of August, and I'm just now getting around to doing the flip through. So I'm going to do that real quickly so that I can get this journal listed in my shop this evening. And so I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions about this journal or any journal that I have in my Etsy shop, please message me through Etsy, because I will get that immediately and I will not have to fish around for it. Sometimes if you leave a comment on YouTube, it doesn't show up, or I miss it somehow. You also could send me a direct message on Instagram. I usually get notifications of those fairly quickly. So, with that being said, I'll go through the journal like I said. This journal measures 6 inches by 9 inches. It has 2 signatures, and each signature has 14 sheets of paper, which if you take 14 sheets and you count both sides and both signatures, it gives it 56 total pages. It is 2.5 inches at the spine, and you can see it is mounted with a Midori style with the elastic so that you can take the signatures out and work on them. This journal has digitals, it has original ephemera, and pretty much everything but the kitchen sink, and it is all back to school related. This is actually from a vintage composition book here that I put just on the inside. The cover is a collage that I originally did for Marguerite Miller's collage challenge at least 2 years ago, because I didn't do it last year, and it was just in my collages, and I thought it was perfect for this journal. These photos are actually vintage photos out of an old newspaper, and then I've got some vintage music back there from a child's music book from school. The scribbling is original. This scribbling I did to represent the crayons, but this was already in the book. And then down here at the bottom, this is some vintage, like a reading book down there. So, and then it's fabric, of course. And then on the inside, I did the same fabric. This is a hardcover book. I think it was actually a Reader's Digest book, and I just removed the book block and covered it. So we've got a library card here, and we have a big journaling card here. There is a little bit of sewing in this, not a ton, but I wanted to do just a little bit of stitching since I used the fabric on the cover. There's a pocket here, and this is an envelope, like a coin envelope. But you can see that I use both vintage and not vintage. Here, this is kind of an ode to Jack Frost. It's got some of the Jack Frost reading book stuff in it, and then I made this little slide that has Tim Holtz. I forget what he calls this, but it looks like frost in my mind. So I put that in a coin holder to make like a little slide. And then this is an envelope. This kit is by My Porch Prints. We have a pocket here made out of a little small paper bag. Again, there's some stitching. I think I did a video on that, actually. A little collage there, and then this is a little foldy out. It has a pocket there, it has a little tuck here, and it has a pocket behind it. Again, vintage reading book, Little Jack and Jill. This was what was in the composition book. It was somebody's composition book where they were studying about trees and forestry. And that's just one of the pages. And it had to be glued all the way down because it's really fragile. And then here, all this was actually in the book. I didn't do anything to try to erase it. I think that just adds to its charm. There's a tag here, and here is a couple of flashcards that are covered with tissue paper. I did some hand stitching on this one. I think I did a video on that as well. We've got a children's dictionary back here that is original. And we have a pocket. But yeah, I tried to use as much original stuff as I had. Obviously, my stash is not unlimited, but these are actual pen nibs. I got these at a flea market in Germany. This is actual vintage. I've got these little bitty flashcards, and they are actual vintage. No, this is a digital. This is original from that math book that I got on my last little book haul. We've got this tag that was hand stitched, which was Tim Holtz cardstock is what I made that out of. It's got the map on the back. This is actual vintage, along with music paper, and there's more of the compo. Now, this is second signature, and you'll notice there's a big gap here. That I had to do that because my signatures are so thick, and I wanted to allow room for if you wanted to remove a signature, because here's the elastic where you can take it out. Now, the signature is sewed together. So when you pull this out, you're not going to be pulling each page out. You're going to be pulling out the whole signature. But I needed to leave a gap so that you'd have room to do that. But with that being said, you also have room to add pages if you want to. If you want it thicker, or you wanted to stick an envelope in there to put stuff in or whatever. And in reality, you know, they go closer together when you shut the book. So that's why you see that gap. Okay, so we have a tuck there. We have another library card here with the envelope that's been embossed. We have another little tag here. And kind of a tuck here because this is an envelope on the back. A pocket. Another pocket. Uh-oh, that one's stuck. No, just a little difficult to get out, but it's not stuck, which is good. Might want to trim that down just a tad so it could go in and out of there better. I will do that now so I don't forget. I'm just going to take a little bit off this top here really quickly. There we go. That's better. Okay. Over here we have a pocket, and I've got just a little ruler in there. Another library card, a partial one. This one is actually an original. And then I've got this card index from the library, and it is original as well. Got another little one of those paper bag tags here. Another couple of alphabet cards, and this is a digital of a classroom in 1934. More little original papers. I just did a paper stack there. And then another card. This one is a little booklet made out of flashcards as well. And it's wrapped around. So this is the smaller flashcards like this. And I just made so it could wrap around the pages. I did gesso this one so you can still write on the inside if you want to. And then this is an original page of a reading book. Another one of those classroom photos. There's a little pocket here with a tag, double tag here, and another one in the back here, and I can't grab it with my hands. Here we go. Alright, and then this is from my vintage typing book, and I just put Tim Holtz stamp on there. And again, this is from the typing book, and this is the last flashcards. These are the big ones, but they're the ones that are red where the other ones are green. And again, I covered those with tissue paper. And then we have another sewn just journal card down in that pocket. Another tuck here. Uh-oh. That one may be stuck. Sometimes when you brush it, like I have a tendency to do, I stick something in a pocket or a tuck before it's totally dry, and then I have issues with it sticking a little bit. Okay, I will work to get that out. it'll come out. I have no doubt. It's just got a little stuck somewhere. Alright, and then we have this long tag. And then I have a pocket here with a little tag. These are my scientists here. We have another little music flashcard and some vintage music behind it from a children's music book from school. And then we have a little belly band here with some math pages. This one is a digital, so you can write on the inside. And I love this little boy. He's one of my favorites that I have in my digital stash. And then have a little side tuck over here. And then just a little collage on this page. And another one of those kind of wraparound things. Some more of the composition book. And then this was in it was actually on the back of a receipt where they've added all that up, and I thought that was cool, so I tore that off and put it there. This is from a accounting book, like learning to do accounting. So is this over here. And then I ended up with my other favorite vintage school picture on the back. This is also a digital. So that's it. So I'm going to flip back over to where this is stuck. So when I turn the camera off, I can get my little bone folder or something and figure out where the little stuck place is. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really enjoyed making this one. I do one of these. I try to do one of these at the start of the school year every year. It brings back good memories because I loved school, and I especially loved going and getting my new school supplies, crayons and stuff like that. So yeah, my love for craft supplies and things started very early, and so yeah, it kind of takes me back to going school shopping. You know, back when I was in elementary school anyway, all the little girls wore dresses. Nobody wore slacks. And so we would always go and, you know, get 4 or 5 dresses to start the school year, and a new pair of shoes, and, you know, a new lunchbox, and all the school supplies, and I just loved it. And I still love to shop, but now my shopping has gone more into still craft supplies, but more into vintage and things like that. So yeah, like I said, I will be listing this journal later this evening, and feel free to ask me any questions if you have them, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.